Right now at 5 is number 12, ready to report. We unpack some encouraging reports today regarding Aaron Rodgers.
An important message from police for people who live in a Madison neighborhood after a string of burglaries. We're live with what they want you to know.
Plus, putting their money where their mouth is, Madison police crack down on East Washington Avenue speeders. We'll show you just how significantly they've increased ticketing.
This is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with us. It is a tweet many Packers fans have been waiting months for. Looks like Aaron Rodgers will be suiting up in the green and gold again this season. That is news from NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. But new reports this afternoon suggest it'll possibly be his final season with the Packers. And it's been a busy afternoon of leaks and sources say, if you will.
Jordan Reed has been following all of the developments today. Jordan, where do things stand right now?
Well, Eric, Susan, in the last couple of hours, ESPN's Adam Schefter says that over the weekend, Rodgers and the team were able to mutually agree on terms, and they are close to an agreement. But it sounds like this new deal will only keep Rodgers in Green Bay for this season. Schefter says the deal comes with concessions like voiding the last year of his deal and adjusting his contract to help with cap room now. And all these negotiations are coming right at the last minute. The Packers report for training camp tomorrow, with practices getting underway on Wednesday. And this news has a domino effect. That extra cap room might mean some wiggle room for star wide receiver Davante Adams. Schefter is reporting he's now willing to talk about a contract extension with the Packers, saying he's open to a new deal. Now, we'll be keeping a close eye on these talks, and we'll let you know if anything else is finalized. Susan?
Stay tuned, as we say. Jordan, thank you. While these negotiations were taking place this afternoon, Packers front office management were hosting their annual shareholders meeting at Lambeau Field. And with all of the off-season drama, it could be the most interesting meeting in years. Both President Mark Murphy and GM Brian Gutekunst did address the crowd and held a press conference afterwards.
I was pleasantly surprised. I thought there would be more, booing for either against us or Aaron, but, I think I was pleasantly surprised.
Murphy says he and Rodgers have been in contact daily for several months now. He says all of the organization's front office is on the same page.
Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast now. We've got an alert day this week. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti on the weather patio. Gary.
Yeah, we're watching the potential for some severe weather on Wednesday, late Wednesday afternoon, more likely Wednesday night. The alert day is for the potential for high winds, hail, and heavy rain with some of the strongest thunderstorms. I think winds might be the main threat if we can get a line of storms to form and sweep across southern Wisconsin. Now, visible cloud track right now, things are pretty quiet across much of the state. There are some thunderstorms up in the northeastern portion of Wisconsin. This will be the case over the next couple of days. We'll see just a few scattered thunderstorms. Tonight, the severe weather threat is highest up toward the Duluth-Superior area into parts of eastern Minnesota. Tomorrow, it shifts back to our south and west. An outside chance of a strong to severe thunderstorm tomorrow night, mainly west of Madison. But the highest threat is going to be on Wednesday across much of southeastern Minnesota and southern and central Wisconsin. Right now, temperatures are in the upper 80s and lower 90s. Here in Madison, we're at 91 degrees, but the dew point temperature is still fairly low. We're at 59, whereas it's higher farther to the north, where heat index readings are now in the middle 90s, like in the La Crosse area. Look for temperatures to drop to only around 70 tonight, with just a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm late tonight, a slight chance for a shower or storm during the day tomorrow with a high of 90. We'll see another hot day on Wednesday, but the storms will break the heat Wednesday night. I'll have more in the forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. Lock your doors and watch for suspicious activity. Now, that is the message from Madison police after a string of burglaries on the city's west side. Brad Hamilton live tonight from Barton Road, where a home was broken into this past weekend. He has more on this developing situation. Brad.
Well, folks here say that this usually quiet and friendly neighborhood was anything but that during the early morning hours last Friday. That's when police were called to Barton Street after the victim said someone broke into their home and stole some of their belongings. When police arrived, not only did they confirm the break-in, but 2 people reported attempted break-ins nearby. We spoke with Captain Tim Patton with Madison Police and how they are stepping up enforcement to prevent further crime in the area.
We did have at least one stolen car in this hotspot, and so try to get that car recovered, get it back to the owners, and then trying to make sure that we're planned for the next shift to see if this is going to repeat over the next 24 hours and see what we can do to prevent that.
Captain Patton had a strong message for the suspects, saying that these crimes are simply not worth the damage they are causing to families. Patton also wanted to make mention that they did identify the suspects, but no one has been arrested so far. Reporting here live in Madison, Brad Hamilton, News 3 Now.
Brad, thank you. The man in custody and charged with the 2008 murder of UW student Brittany Zimmerman is pleading not guilty to his charges. David Call didn't speak in court today, so the judge entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. He's charged with first-degree intentional homicide. Prosecutors say Call's DNA matches evidence from the crime scene in the downtown Madison apartment. Call claims he was high on cocaine at the time. No future court dates have been set. Investigators say 3 men found slain in a western Wisconsin quarry likely knew the person or people who killed them. The bodies of 24-year-olds Peng Lor and Nemo Yang and 23-year-old Trevor Maloney were discovered early Friday morning by 2 workers at the Milestone Quarry. The quarry is located northeast of La Crosse along the Minnesota border. La Crosse County Sheriff Jeff Wolf has called the deaths a targeted act, but has not said how the men died.
The Milwaukee Police Chief saga has taken a new turn, one with a local connection. Today, the Fitchburg Police and Fire Commission put out its list of police chief finalists, and on that list, Alfonso Morales. Next week, the finalists will participate in tours of the city and the department, followed by interviews with the city administrator and mayor. The Police and Fire Commission will then conduct their interviews with each finalist. Tomorrow, the city of Milwaukee is scheduled to vote on a settlement with Morales after he was demoted and resigned last year. He sued for his job back and eventually won. Speeding tickets in July along East Washington Avenue are well on their way to doubling the total from the first 6 months of the year.
Madison was already on track to issue more speeding tickets there than in each of the past 5 years, even before July started. Investigative reporter Naomi Coles has been getting questions about how much this enforcement overlaps with the pedestrian deaths that prompted it. She joins us live. Naomi?
Yeah, one viewer in particular reached out to me asking what kinds of citations, what kinds of charges are we seeing after these deaths on East Wash happened. So here's a recap. On April 3rd, a car hit and killed a pedestrian, but the driver was not cited because police said the victim was walking through a green light. I'm working to get more information about a June 14th crash. The DOT lists it as a pedestrian death. Police officers arrested the driver for drunk driving, but I don't have confirmation yet that an actual charge was filed. The charges for the June 26th hit and run are well known, but we don't know as much yet about the charges police recommended for the July 2nd death. That was where a cyclist was hit and killed in the crosswalk at Pauling Street. Now, when I have that information, we'll let you know. So, to be clear, police are talking about speeding enforcement, but speeding so far is not a part of official charges, official citations for any of these deaths. It's not so far yet, however. It could be in that July 2nd incident. Drunk driving, speeding enforcement, that's what police are hitting hard right now. Tonight at 6 o'clock, I'll be talking about how it's skyrocketing this month.
We will see you at 6. Naomi, thank you. Dane County reaching a vaccination milestone today, with 70% of the population now having at least 1 dose of the vaccine. That's more than 382,000 people and actually translates into more than 80% of the eligible population. More than 67% of people have been fully vaccinated. The UW system will not be requiring its students to get vaccinated this fall, but officials are hoping to motivate them to do so with a new incentive program. It's called 70 for 70. Under the program, students who attend a university that achieves at least a 70% vaccination rate will be entered into a drawing to win one of 70 scholarships, each valued at $7,000.
Travel restrictions to the U.S. won't be lifted anytime soon. The White House is deciding to keep those restrictions in place due to the surging COVID numbers caused by the Delta variant. And that means most visitors from much of Europe, China, India, Brazil, and other nations are not allowed into the country. A White House official says while the administration understands the economic concerns, science on COVID variants does not support a safe rollback of those restrictions at this time. Well, the governor and Republican lawmakers have another showdown at the Capitol.
Republicans have called an extraordinary session to try to override the governor's vetoes. He has a different plan for how they should use that time. Charlotte Gillespie is here with more on what's happening. Charlotte?
Susan and Eric, Republicans are set to meet tomorrow to try to overturn the governor's veto of their bill that would eliminate an additional $300 in unemployment benefits. They're unlikely to have the votes to override the veto. So Governor Tony Evers says he's happy lawmakers are willing to work this summer. They're scheduled to be on recess right now after they finished the budget last month. The governor says since they're working, he'd like them to put more money toward education as schools continue to find ways to grapple with the ongoing pandemic.
If they're going to come to Madison, then they have work to do. That's why I'm calling a special session of the legislature for tomorrow. Well, they will already be here at the Capitol so that they can use that time to also make the meaningful investments in our kids and our schools that they should have made in the budget.
The governor's proposal is to add $240 million for general education funding, $200 million for special education, and $110 million for the UW system. But that plan, too, is unlikely to gain any traction. Republicans have generally ignored the governor's calls for special session in the past, gaveling in and out without debate, and the same is expected this time.
Charlotte, thank you. I'll check this out. New video. This is from outside the Minnesota State Capitol today in St. Paul. A motorist driving on the Capitol lawn, waving a Trump flag during a press conference for an embattled lawmaker, Representative John Thompson. The woman was then chased away by law enforcement after doing a few laps. No word on if she was arrested. Representative Thompson is facing calls for his resignation from many, including the state's governor, Tim Walz, after domestic violence reports emerged earlier this month. Still to come at 5, EAA AirVenture takes flight in Oshkosh. Take a tour inside one of the event's main attractions this year.
But first, the future of an historic bar in Madison with ties to the mob up for a vote tonight. We'll have a preview coming up next.
And Wall Street opening the week with some gains. The Dow up 83. Not much happening with the NASDAQ, up almost 4 points. S&P adds 10.5, and we'll be right back.
Fry Construction is celebrating 26 years of providing excellence in home improvements. We strive to exceed the expectations of our clients with each and every project we do. Respected by your neighbors and voted Best of Madison 2 years in a row. Best kitchen and bath design, best roofer. Experience the Best of Madison for yourself and save 26% off gutters or insulation with any full roofing project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Erectile dysfunction for men of all ages has become much more common. In fact, most men don't realize that 90% of erectile dysfunction is a direct result of broken down old blood vessels. This causes a lack of blood flow that is critical when achieving an erection. With our state-of-the-art technology, we're able to stimulate new stem cell growth right in our office with no pills, no needles, no surgery, and no pain.
To book your consultation and get back to natural functionability, call Peak Performance for Men today.
Menards has what you need to keep your home safe. From smoke and carbon monoxide alarms to fire extinguishers and more, Kidde Home Safety Products keep your family protected from emergencies. Grab a general use fire extinguisher. It lasts up to 12 years, and it adds an extra measure to protect you and your family at home. Save 11% on all Kidde Home Safety Products right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Here at TSR, we transform old, cracked concrete floors into beautiful, tough floors in just one day. Hi, I'm Joey with TSR Concrete Coatings, and here at TSR, we don't just simply coat over your old concrete. We grind it down, repair it, apply the base coat and chip, and then seal it with our own proprietary sealant that will never chip or peel. All of our coatings are covered by our exclusive lifetime warranty, so you can rest assured that your beautiful new floor will last. Our awesome team is here to answer all of your questions before and after the installation. And right now, we are offering 15% off your new floor coating until the end of the year. Visit the website or call that number below for your new floor today.
TSR, one day floor.
Call 1-800-886-8411.
Hi, folks. Coming up Tuesday on News 3 Now this morning, the CrossFit Games kick off in Madison. What you need to know before you go.
And Chris Reese is looking at a pretty hot forecast for those athletes. Join us from 4:30 to 7 for News 3 Now this morning.
When it comes to weather, only one thing really matters: accuracy.
Only one station can be the best.
News 3 Now. First Warn Weather has the most accurate forecast, according to Weather Rate.
Count on First Warn Weather for your most accurate forecast.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back, everyone. Madison city leaders will decide the fate of a historic Madison bar tonight.
Now, there are currently plans on the table to tear down Wonder Bar, that's near the Alliant Energy Center, to make way for an 18-story apartment complex and a mixed-use building. Now, preservationists are now working to try to save it. This was built back in 1929 by a rival gang of Chicago mobster Al Capone. Now, historians say it served as a hub for bootlegging during Prohibition. A proposal in May from the Madison Trust and Historic Preservation proposed lifting the building and moving it to another spot. However, experts say the building is simply too heavy to carry over bridges and railroad tracks. People against the demolition hope members of the Plan Commission tonight will hear their pleas.
There are thousands of apartments currently being constructed and planned in Madison. And, you know, I really don't see why we should be losing this fantastic building with this history for another 250 apartments.
Well, that meeting is happening virtually this evening. It'll start in about 15 minutes at 5:30, and representatives from the company intending to build those apartments say the design goes along with a bigger plan to redevelop that whole area around Alliant Energy Center.
Wild weather hit around the globe over the weekend. Many countries experienced severe flooding and deadly landslides, while a new study warns why we need to prepare for more weather-related disasters. CBS's Ian Lee reports.
Heavy rains turned streets in Belgium into raging rivers on Saturday. While in London, severe thunderstorms put parts of the city underwater. And a typhoon in China is flooding entire provinces and has killed dozens so far. Weather experts warn this is the impact of climate change.
With global warming, you will have a much higher chance of heavy rain.
Heavy rains also hit western India over the weekend. Floods there killed more than 130 people, and that number is expected to rise as rescue teams pull bodies from the debris. Now, a new study from the UN details why flooding should have governments worried.
Water-related hazards dominate the list of disasters in terms of both the human and economic toll over the past 50 years.
Monsoon rains are also being blamed for landslides in India. Huge boulders crashed down a mountain over the weekend, taking out a bridge. 9 people were also killed and several injured when a rock smashed into their bus. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
And it isn't all wild, wet weather. Fires are sweeping across the Italian island of Sardinia, forcing hundreds to evacuate ahead of the flames.
And out in the American West, California's largest wildfire is growing after destroying more than a dozen homes over the weekend. After nearly 2 weeks now, the Dixie Fire, this is north of Sacramento, still just 21% contained. It's one of more than 80 fires now burning in 11 western states, forcing nearly 8,400 evacuations. Officials say the Dixie Fire is the 15th largest fire in California history. A lot of dry weather still ahead. It's only July.
Yeah, that's true. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate weather with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Not a lot of rain around here either, and we could actually use the rain. We should get some Wednesday night, but that's probably our best chance. Right now, a couple of showers and thunderstorms up around Green Bay over toward Door County. Some more thunderstorms just north of the U.S.-Canadian border, north of Minnesota, starting to head southeastward. And those could become severe later on tonight. Storm Prediction Center has an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms for strong straight-line winds and maybe an isolated tornado or two from northeastern Minnesota into far northwestern Wisconsin. A slight risk about as far south as Wausau, and then a marginal risk to just north of our viewing area for any storms that might hold together very late tonight. Our severe weather threat is low for tonight. Tomorrow, there's a marginal risk for an isolated severe thunderstorm west of Madison tomorrow night. The storm's probably developing farther south into parts of Minnesota, but again, reaching us later tomorrow night when they'll be weakening, and even then, the storms can be very widely scattered. It's not even a possibility that we could miss out altogether on the thunderstorms for tomorrow night. But Wednesday, mainly Wednesday night, would be our best chances for severe weather. We'll probably see more storms develop up to our north and west, and then maybe form a line that will sweep southeastward. And this will be right in conjunction with a cold front, so there's probably a little better chance for thunderstorms on Wednesday night. And as far as the main threats, high winds would probably be the main threat along with heavy rain. Now, the rain is not a slam dunk either. You can see on the future track precipitation outlook, some areas may pick up 1, 2, 3 inches of rain if you get caught underneath a couple of heavier thunderstorms and move over the same general area. And then other areas nearby may miss out or just see very light amounts of rain. So it all depends on whether these storms form a more solid line or if they're more individual type cells. If they're more individual cells, the severe weather threat is higher, but the widespread rain threat is lower. And once everything moves out of here, it looks like we'll be dry for much of the rest of the week. And on future track, you can see what we're kind of looking at. So tonight, those storms to our north and west reaching maybe the northern parts of our viewing area early tomorrow morning, fizzling out, maybe a thunderstorm popping up in a couple of spots tomorrow afternoon. Most of us stay dry. Same thing tomorrow night. Storms to our north and west, maybe moving in here early on Wednesday. And then Wednesday, dry for much of the day. But here come those storms developing over parts of Minnesota and western Wisconsin by late Wednesday afternoon, early Wednesday evening. And then those are the ones that we're watching. This is 10 p.m., one cluster of storms moving by, another cluster possibly forming. And then after that, the cold front drops to the south. The winds will shift around to the north, and that will put an end to the rain chances. So again, it's kind of an iffy situation, but we'll have to keep an eye out for it. We do have an alert day in the forecast for it. Tomorrow, high temperature of 90, hot and humid, just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm early in the morning and then again during the afternoon hours. And future track rainfall, again, some areas may pick up a ½ inch to an inch or more of rain. Other areas, very little, or maybe just up to a quarter of an inch of rain. There's that alert day for Wednesday, mainly Wednesday night. Thunderstorms should end early on Thursday morning. Then mainly dry weather for the rest of the week. Slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm late Saturday night into Sunday morning, and maybe another chance toward the middle of next week, but those chances are much less, and that means more dry weather ahead. As we check out our first warn traffic, right now we're seeing our usual delays on the construction zone in the Beltline on the eastbound side from about Monona Drive back to around Fish Hatchery Road, westbound Fish Hatchery Road to around John Nolan Drive. We're seeing delays right now, about an 18-minute trip on the eastbound Beltline, 17 minutes on the westbound Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading out of Madison from I-39 to the Beltline to on I-39-90 to Janesville is a 25-minute trip. US 12 Middleton to Sauk City is 12 minutes, and from downtown to Sun Prairie, 17 minutes on East Washington Avenue and US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
Gary, thank you. And just ahead at 5, we'll check out the opening day of EAA Air Venture up in Oshkosh and the CrossFit Games in Madison. Just a day away now. The final preparations up next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Mad City moving. You haven't seen moves like these before. He's here! He's here! It's happening!
What can I get you, young man?
Free installation!
Coming right up.
Feldco's biggest sale of the year. Free installation. Plus, no interest until 2023.
Free installation on window siding and doors ends Saturday. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
You've been taking mental health meds and your mind is finally in a better place. Except now you have uncontrollable body movements called tardive dyskinesia, TD. And it can seem like that's all people see. Some meds for mental health can cause abnormal dopamine signaling in the brain. While how it works is not fully understood, Ingrezza is thought to reduce that signaling.
Ingrezza is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with TD movements in the face and body. People taking Ingrezza can stay on their current dose of most mental health meds. Don't take Ingrezza if you're allergic to any of its ingredients. Ingrezza may cause serious side effects, including sleepiness. Don't drive, operate heavy machinery, or do other dangerous activities until you know how Ingrezza affects you. Other serious side effects include potential heart rhythm problems and abnormal movements.
Shift the focus more on you. Ask your doctor about Ingrezza. It's simple. One pill, once daily. #1 prescribed for TD. Learn how you could pay as little as $0 at Ingrezza.com.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
At U.S. Cellular, we know the local landscape, so we can help everyone stay connected for less.
Right now, get up to $1,200 off any 5G phone. The choice is yours.
Whether it's adapting the network for a strong signal where you work, or optimizing your coverage where you play, we're always hard at work to make sure our state-of-the-art 5G network works for you.
Up to $1,200 off any 5G phone with no trade-in or hidden fees.
U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
When you're the victim of an accident, it can feel like the weight of the entire world is on your shoulders. Why not let us take that crippling burden off your back? Habish, Habish, and Rotier. We fight for what's right.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back, everyone. More than 600 athletes are arriving in Madison ahead of the 2021 CrossFit Games.
And this year's last-minute preparations include a lot of training and even more testing. Athletes from more than a dozen countries are vying for the grand prize, $310,000, and the title, Fittest on Earth. Organizers are requiring all athletes, regardless of vaccination status, to follow a series of strict COVID protocols. International athletes will need to show proof of a negative COVID test 1 to 3 days before traveling and another one 3 to 5 days after arrival. The games typically draw more than 50,000 people to Madison, bringing in $12 million to the local economy, and they officially kick off tomorrow, and they'll run through August 1st. For more information on those protocols and the event schedule, we have a story up at channel3000.com.
After taking last year off, EAA AirVenture is back in Wisconsin this week, officially getting underway today. One of the main attractions, the Orbis Flying Eye Hospital. Paul Stino shows us how it's been performing life-changing procedures on millions of people for decades.
This year at EAA AirVenture, there's lots of different aircraft, but probably none quite like the Orbis Flying Eye Hospital.
We just like to get the airplane out there and let people see it, understand what we do, and get excited, and hopefully help us continue the program.
The plane travels around the world. Doctors perform eye procedures on people who need them. They also teach local doctors the skills they need to perform the procedures themselves. While surgeries are going on, local doctors observe on the monitor in the plane's classroom.
Someone will come up to me from Egypt and say, "Hey, Dr. Vraybeck, I just did 10 transplants last month and they all did great." And that really is just as rewarding as helping an individual person.
In just the last 5 years, the Flying Eye Hospital has performed 352,000 surgeries and laser treatments. Children are given a teddy bear after procedures.
They usually have an eye patch on them so that they can feel they have kin with somebody, because a lot of the patients leave the plane with an eye patch on.
The Flying Eye Hospital has several Wisconsin connections. Dr. Vraybeck is from Appleton. Dr. John Giacomo is from Milwaukee. This is the third time the Flying Eye Hospital has visited EAA AirVenture. How do you think the Flying Eye Hospital has changed the world?
Oh, it's just amazing. What the Flying Eye Hospital does is bring together nations, brings together people.
I think a lot of us feel that giving back to the world is sort of what we're meant to do.
That was Paul Stino reporting. You can check out the Flying Eye Hospital yourself. EAA runs through this weekend.
Always a lot to see up there. We're back with a final check of your First Warn forecast in just a moment.
Whoa, that was easy. I can't believe I got 2 pairs for under $80. I was worried about switching to Progressives, but they made me feel great about it. Like a star. A star with lipstick on her teeth.
2 pairs starting under $40, only at iMart Express.
No more Freon for your AC. Oh no, the homeowner's called Action Man and his action team.
Call on Action Plumbing, Heating, and Electric at iwantactionnow.com.
Don't you wish you could wave a magic wand and have whiter teeth?
Well, you can, but it's not magic. It's power swabs. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and boom, whiter teeth and a better smile. And since you're not dealing with messy trays or awkward strips, you're less vulnerable to the harsh sensitivity they sometimes create.
I've used strips. They seem to really hurt my teeth. The power swabs, it just seemed very gentle.
It's so simple and easy. You just open it, you apply it to your teeth, you forget it's there, and I noticed that they're white and bright again like they were before.
I noticed actually a difference the first time that I used power swabs. You put on the first coat and then the activator goes on and immediately you start seeing it working.
It only takes 5-minute applications to get a brighter, whiter smile with power swabs. You just snap, swab, and smile. Power swabs have been clinically studied to whiten natural teeth and remove stains from caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so powerful, it removes stains from coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking.
I love my coffee in the morning.
I will never stop drinking coffee. I will not be the person drinking hot coffee with a straw.
As much coffee as I drink, I can use my power swabs and eliminate the staining.
When I use the power swabs, I applied it directly to my front tooth where the coffee stain was.
I like being able to individually get the teeth, and most importantly, it got kind of in between the grooves.
You can put it directly on the stain that you see on your teeth, and it's so precise.
But as powerful as it is, it's also gentle and causes 0 to minimal sensitivity.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab, and I just got to rub it on my teeth, and that was it.
Take it from me as someone who has gone the dental route, but has also gone on the shelf route, and I've not really seen anything work as effective and as easy as power swabs.
Whiten your teeth today by ordering power swabs and receive 40% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free quick stick pen to use on the go after meals or a cup of coffee. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
We're here at the local farmers market where Informed Choice Insurance Agency is offering fresh, local, hand-picked Medicare. What do you mean when you say shop local for Medicare?
Your local Medicare plans have all the bells and whistles that national TV ads promise, only better, because you're working with local agents who know the doctors, the specialists, and the hospital networks inside and out. You're not going to get that calling a call center in Des Moines, Iowa.
Don't get fooled by national TV hype. When it comes to Medicare options, keep it local with Informed Choice Insurance Agency, and they're free. Well, there's Doppler track. Quiet across much of Wisconsin. Some severe thunderstorms starting to develop in northern Minnesota that will move southward and could affect areas well north of Madison by early tomorrow morning. But right now, very quiet across southern Wisconsin. Temperatures, though, are hot. We're at 91 in Madison, 91 in Janesville, 93 in La Crosse, and dew point temperatures are in the upper 50s to around 60, so it feels a couple degrees warmer than that.
Well, CBS Evening News is next. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6.